Greetings. I obviously am not here. I'm home with my fevered little child. So I came in early. I got here earlier than I have ever been here. I got here at 5:32 a.m. and luckily the janitor just unlocked the door when I arrived here. Otherwise, I would have been just sitting in the parking lot. Anyway, I got up at 4:45 to drive out here so that I could get some stuff set up for my eager young students. That includes you. So here's what you're going to do today. It's going to be a mix of your work day this week. We'll use the next 2 days because I will be back tomorrow for conferences for sure. The next 2 days to finish going over the book and make sure we're all set up for our essays. So I'm just going to have you do a couple things in the beginning of class, and then with whatever time is remaining, you can use that for whatever's pressing. So first, end of class on, what day was it? Before the snow day, so Monday, we were talking about the poem at the beginning of Things Fall Apart, right? Especially the first 4 lines of that poem. So I'm not sure if you finished that up in terms of looking at that and trying to use that to come up with a thesis argument for your paper, but if you haven't, I want you to spend a little bit of time thinking about that, period. So if you notice, right, we talked about what the poem was about and this kind of coming change of Yeats had that the kind of idea about time and how, one era of time is contracting and the other is expanding, and then there's a reverse, right? And so it talks about the second coming not being the second coming of Jesus as in the Bible, but second coming of this new era, which is a scary kind of time where things didn't make sense. And I don't remember how much you remember of last year at the end of Advanced B, but we talked about modernism, and that was around the time of the 2 world wars and a lot of social change and Freud's ideas and socialism, all these things which kind of changed the way people looked at the world, and the world didn't make sense anymore, right? And so this poem really fits with that time, feeling like we've left what we've known before and we're entering into a new kind of scary time. So if you notice, what Achebe does, though, is he doesn't use the whole poem in his the beginning of his book. He just uses those first 4 lines. And so the meaning of the poem is still there, but I want you to use those first 4 lines of the poem to try to come up with a thesis statement that you could make for your book. And then the other thing I want you to do, and this will be another essay topic that we can discuss, I'll have you do some of the kind of thinking in advance for it today, is looking at gender roles within the book. This is a topic that has come up in numerous papers we've written about. Basically, you've been looking at books from a feminist perspective. So what you're going to do to start with is just do some brainstorming, and you can do this in a small group, 2 or 3 people. Just draw a line down the middle of your paper and start by brainstorming apparent strengths and weaknesses of women within the culture, right? Then I also want you to look at page 133 to 135 and look at some of the discussion there. It seems on the surface, especially within Okonkwo's family, that women don't have a very important role and are subordinate to men, but there is a lot of importance there, right? And so kind of figuring out what that importance is would be the thesis statement that you'd be working with. So I'll have you just start with those 2 things today. With whatever time is remaining, you can use the computers if you want to. We have those today. I'm sorry about the timing of both the snow day and sick kid. So, but we'll get through it. And also make sure you keep plowing ahead with the things they carried. Reminder that Monday next week, Monday the 29th, both your notes on things they carried and your essay on Things Fall Apart are due. So I will see you tomorrow. Bye.